This episode of Marijuana Today Daily is brought to you by our friends over at Ease, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery. You know Ease as a place where you can get legal marijuana delivery that complies with all of the Golden State's various marijuana laws, and as a place to find valuable industry insight and analysis over at ease.com/blog. But one of the other things you should know about Ease is that they take their responsibility to the community that sustains them very seriously. One of the new programs that the folks at Ease are most excited about is their new partnership with the Hood Incubator out of Oakland, California. The Hood Incubator is a great project that works to increase racial diversity within the legal marijuana industry by fostering and supporting entrepreneurs through a business incubation program. Ease is giving the Hood Incubator $1 million over the next 3 years to help fund their work and expand their reach. This is just one example of how Ease is trying to be more than just a company that delivers quick and legal California marijuana products at great prices. Learn more about all the cool things Ease is up to over at ease.com/blog, with Ease spelled E-A-Z-E. And don't forget, you can check out your local options for California legal marijuana delivery by opening up ease.com. Good morning, Marijuana Nation. It's Monday, March 5th, 2018, and you're tuned in to episode 444 of Marijuana Today Daily. I'm your host, Shay Gunther, and I'll be walking you through today's marijuana news and headlines. As always, we have a full and busy day of cannabis news in our hands, so let's jump right into it. Our top story of the day is a pickup by Tom Angel over at Marijuana Moments on comments made by Trump's Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar, who on Friday said, quote, "There really is no such thing as medical marijuana," unquote. This pronouncement comes in the face of the fact that there very much is such a thing as medical marijuana, even if the federal government doesn't like it. Secretary Azar is a former executive with pharmaceutical giant Eli Lilly and Company and spoke at an event in Ohio at a medical facility for new mothers dealing with opioid addictions. When asked about the use of medical marijuana as an alternative to opioid-based medicines, Secretary Azar said, quote, "We have treatments that are approved by the Food and Drug Administration that are safe, that are proven to be safe and effective for pain, safe and effective for other conditions. There is no FDA-approved use of marijuana, a botanical plant," unquote. Our second top story of the day keeps us glued to Marijuana Moment, as Tom has a great story up about some polling recently conducted by a conservative advocacy group with ties to the Trump administration showing broad support for the legalization of marijuana. As with most stories dealing with President Trump these days, there's an interesting backstory full of corruption and political intrigue that you need to swing over to fully read. In short, though, it looks like the company that conducted the pro-cannabis polling, owned by Trump's favorite liar Kellyanne Conway, is engaged in some kind of nefarious dark money-funded shenanigans. Pop over to Tom's story for all the details on this one. Our final top story of the day brings us out to Pennsylvania, where the state's few open medical marijuana dispensaries are running into an issue seen by many of their out-of-state dispensary peers, and that's running out of product to sell. This is something that's happened in a lot of new medical marijuana legal states, as it takes time for cannabis to be grown and processed, and especially in the early days of an industry being up, there can be disconnects between the timing of harvests and patient demand. As the Philadelphia Inquirer is reporting, that's what's happening at least 2 of the state's dispensaries, with one saying they would be back up with stocked shelves later this month. Those are our top stories for today. It's time for Marijuana Today Daily Headlines Blitz. Before we blitz out on headlines, let's quickly thank our sponsor, Ease, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery and a heck of a good source for industry news and analysis. That's ease.com for the delivery service and ease.com/blog for all their reports and analysis and insight. And like I mentioned at the top of the show, Ease is also trying to be a leader in the realm of corporate responsibility, going as far as hiring a new director of social impact, Jan Lujan, who just joined the company and who is tasked with overseeing the company's corporate citizen outreach efforts, including their $1 million grant to the Hood Incubator of Oakland, California, which supports entrepreneurs of color with great legal cannabis business startup ideas. Ease is a company that you can feel good about doing business with. Ease has everything covered. They offer fully state legal, top quality cannabis products at great prices for delivery, and they make sure to give away some of the money they make to support good causes and social efforts. You can't ask much more from a business than that. If you live in California and want to see if Ease can deliver to your neck of the woods, fire up ease.com, which is spelled EAZE, and then pop over to ease.com/blog for all the helpful and valuable insight and analysis put together from Ease's properly aggregated and anonymized order data stream. That's ease.com and ease.com/blog. All right, time for the blitz. The companies that were awarded license to cultivate medical marijuana in Ohio have joined together to form a trade association to represent their interests. The generically named Ohio Medical Marijuana License Holders Coalition is backed by the initial 24 license winners named by state officials back in November and will, among other things, fight back against the notion that the selection process, which has been marred by a number of controversies over scoring, be scrapped entirely in favor of a redo. That's the aim of a lawsuit just filed by one of the losers in the license process, so I'm sure we'll be hearing back more on this storyline in the future. The Sacramento Bee has an important story up looking at the case of California's medical marijuana collectives that are in danger of having to close down over tax issues. The problem stems from the fact that California state law requires that groups like Weed for Warriors charge taxes on the medical cannabis they distribute for free to veteran patients in need. Weed for Warriors and other groups like it won't be able to survive without some kind of legislative carve-out recognizing their unique structure and operating procedures. Open this one up for the full read, and if you live in California, contact your local representatives and let them know that this is an important problem to fix. As always, we have all the news we cover linked to on our website at mjtodaydaily.com and on our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily. The Times of Israel is reporting that a company in that nation has announced a $110 million deal to grow and process medical cannabis for a European firm. But the company Medivi Therapeutics says it won't be able to grow that medical cannabis in Israel unless the country lifts the recent block on exports imposed after a complaint from U.S. President Donald Trump. This news just broke yesterday, so we'll keep an eye on things as they develop. Oregon state lawmakers passed a comprehensive marijuana bill on the last day of their legislative session last week, with SB 1544 passing in the Senate by a count of 26-3 and its House companion by a count of 49-8. The bill has a number of cannabis-related items, with one of the more top-of-the-line being the creation of a new grant program to cut down on illicit market diversion. If you're an Oregon policy nerd or if you have interests in the industry, this is a good one to open up in full. Our friends over at Americans for Safe Access, or ASA, just released their annual report card for medical marijuana states and awarded their highest marks to California, which got a B+. ASA scored each legal state based on a number of metrics, including access to medical marijuana and how easy it is to get certified as a patient. Matching Colorado's high score of B+ was Nevada, Michigan, and Illinois, while Colorado scored a B- and my home state of Maine got a B. Open up Denver Westword to find a link to ACE's full report, which is an excellent read. Popping back over to Pennsylvania for another headline, we have news on Friday that the state has approved the opening of 2 more medical marijuana dispensaries, on top of the 6 that are already up and running. Supply issues aside, this state will eventually have a total of 12 licensed cultivators and processors serving 51 dispensaries. Our final top story of the day is a good one over at Mashable, looking at recent headlines asking if legal marijuana was responsible for a rise in the number of pedestrians being killed by cars. This catchy but false premise has been picked up all over the newssphere in the last week or two, with most stories burying the lead, noting a rise in the adoption of smartphones that match the uptick in pedestrian deaths. But the Governor's Highway Safety Association has more of a political bone to pick with legal marijuana than it does big telecom, so the angle they pushed in advancing the story about the rise in pedestrian deaths emphasized legal cannabis, which is just stupid. Look around at how many people are glued to their phones the next time you're out in public. This is also one of those stories where they're asking the wrong questions. Maybe we should be thinking about how we can better design our public spaces so that people don't get run over by cars when they're derping out on their phones, or even if they just ate a 1,000 milligram edible. Open this one up for sure. Those are the headlines and news for the day. I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning with another information-packed episode of Marijuana Today Daily. But in the meantime, if you have any stories to share or feedback to give, zip us an email to headlines@mjtodaydaily.com. And while you're clicking around the interwebs, swing over to our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily and visit our website at mjtodaydaily.com to find links to all the news we cover. Thanks to our sponsor, Ease, and to all of our awesome patron listeners for the support that makes this show possible. To join the illustrious ranks of the patron listeners yourself, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com and click on that big blue button at the top of the page that says, Become a Patron. I'm your host, Shay Gunther. Thanks for tuning in and starting your day with Marijuana Today. Today.
One take, Shay. One take.